February 2019. Thank you very much for joining us this evening on our last major news bulletin for the day. My name is Michael Oni. The headlines. Federal government's meeting with ASU ends in deadlock again. PDP accuses APC of smuggling foreigners into Kano State rally. IPAC calls for increased voter education in Abia State. And on the foreign scene, U.S. imposes visa restrictions on Ghana. The details shortly. Well, we'll begin this evening in the education sector as the meeting between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities today has again ended in a stalemate. The meeting, which held at the instance of the Labor and Employment Minister Chris Ngige, lasted for more than 3 hours without a tangible outcome. The federal government and ASU were not forthcoming when newsmen approached them for the outcome of the meeting. The said progress is being made and that the strike continues. Both parties will be meeting again next week, Thursday. This is the 9th time the striking lecturers are meeting with the Minister of Labor and Employment to resolve the industrial action which has lingered for almost 3 months. Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai says the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Nohe, has proven that he is corrupt and therefore cannot continue to head the nation. He described the non-declaration of assets by the CJN as shameful and an embarrassment to both the judiciary and the country in general, and therefore urged him to resign his position.
The case of Justice Onogen is a very sad one, because Sheikh Usman Danfodio, who is the founder of the Sokoto Caliphate, wrote that the worst kind of corruption you can find in any public servant is judicial corruption. Because when a president is corrupt or a governor is corrupt, it is to the judge that ordinary people can take their case for the judge to remove him from office. When the judge himself is corrupt, it is the highest.
Here in their contingent are supporting Mr. President for suspending the former Chief Justice of Nigeria. Action, we felt it is decisive, it was necessary, and that action was timely. Because if that was not done, the common man was becoming a subject of ridicule. A common man cannot get a judgment to his favor, even when he has everything to his advantage. Therefore, why we have assembled ourselves here today is to be able to tell the entire world and Nigeria that we in Kaduna State are in support of our amiable president.
The Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, has filed a suit seeking to disqualify President Muhammadu Buhari from participating in the general elections. The spokesperson for the coalition, Ugochinyere Ikenga, disclosed this to reporters at a press conference in Abuja.
We have come to the conclusion that re-electing President Buhari will only empower members of the cabal that his wife admitted has hijacked his presidency to rule us for another 4 years from the dark. In order to save this great nation the disaster, if President Buhari, in a rare happenstance, is re-elected, we, the opposition political parties, have therefore filed litigation at the Federal High Court, seeking to declare him unfit to contest for 2019 election. We are also seeking from the court an order disqualifying President Buhari from contesting the election to the office of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and an injunction restraining INEC from recognizing his candidature.
And in politics, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is accusing the All Progressives Congress, APC, of renting and smuggling in a crowd of foreigners from the Niger Republic to attend President Muhammadu Buhari's campaign rally in Kano State. The PDP National Publicity Secretary, Kola Ologbondiyan, made these allegations while addressing a press conference in Abuja. He said the ruling party purportedly rented foreigners for its campaign in Kano State because it could not mobilize Nigerians to attend. Ologbondiyan alleged that the president and the APC, in their desperation, had compromised the nation's territorial integrity, in turn posing grave danger to the nation's security and the sanctity of the electoral process. The planned arraignment of the former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Ayodele Oke, and his wife, Folashade Ayodele Oke, failed to hold today at the Federal High Court. According to the counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Rotimi Oyedepo, the case was not listed in the case list for Friday, the 4th of February. He added that The case would likely be called on Wednesday, the 6th of February, 2019.
And I want to use this media to inform them we're happy that...
Well, now the governorship party in Lagos, Jimmy Agbaje, is urging the Lagos State House of Assembly to reveal the motivation behind their attempt to impeach the governor, Akinwumi Ambode. In a statement issued by Agbaje's Directorate of Media and Publicity, he alleged that the Lagos lawmakers were using the issue of delayed presentation of the 2019 budget as an excuse to carry out an ulterior motive. Agbaje, while expressing his reservations about the timing of the impeachment move, also stated that although the legislature reserved the right to perform oversight functions, such a responsibility should not be abused. And back home in Abia State, the Abia State chapter of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPERC, has called for more awareness and the commitment of Abians in the forthcoming elections. Speaking at a one-day conference organized by the body ahead of the 2019 general elections tagged towards evolving a sustainable and responsible leadership culture in Abia State, the chairman of the council, Augustine Ehimere, called on Abians to embrace the electoral process to ensure the best is gotten out of the elections. The event, which had in attendance leaders of various political parties under the IPAC umbrella, representatives of the resident electoral commissioners of INEC in Abia State, and the several civil society groups, had the several agendas for discussion. And now the kidnapped chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Abia State, Donatus Wampa, has regained his freedom. The State Police Command and the Publicity Secretary of the party confirmed the news today. They, however, gave no information about the rescue or arrest of the abductors. It was also not disclosed if any ransom was paid to secure the release.
I want to use this media to inform them we're happy that he's back, strong and healthy, and has come to issue to take the party from where he brought it to the level he brought it from nowhere to somewhere to the next level. I want to thank everybody. It was really yesterday night, and we're happy. The party members and not only anyone and Abians who believe in democracy, we were all happy.
The kidnapped state chairman is yet to comment on his ordeal during the 3-day abduction. He, however, has been reunited with his family. Governor Okezie Ikpeazu is appreciating the contributions of the people of Umuahia North local government area, who, he said, midwifed the equity and governorship position in the state. The governor was speaking at Ibeku High School in Umuahia during the PDP rally in Umuahia North local government area, describing Umuahia North as the seat of political power in Abia State, recalling that the local government area has produced great political leaders. The governor, who said he believes in them, called on the people to ensure they vote PDP candidates in the forthcoming general elections, assuring that he will achieve much more development in his second tenure. The Independent National Electoral Commission is calling on the police and other security agencies not to stand in the way of accredited journalists deployed to cover the general elections. INEC Federal Commissioner in charge of Anambra, Enugu, and Benue State, Festus Okoye, made the call in Awka at a sensitization forum organized for media practitioners ahead of the 2019 general elections. He said journalists were critical stakeholders in the process and must be granted unfettered access to voting, coalition, and distribution centers. According to him, accredited journalists must also be allowed to inspect all election materials. You're listening to Flow 94.9 FM News now at 6 p.m. The news continues shortly with foreign, sports, and entertainment. Do stay tuned. scope of these sanctions may be expanded to a wider population. And on sports, David Talks is right here, ready to give you the latest in the world of sports. Good evening to you, David.
Yes, a very good evening to you, Michael. Good evening all, and welcome to Sports News Updates this evening. Let's begin from the world of athletics, as London 2012 Olympic high jump champion Ivan Yukov is among 12 Russian track and field athletes banned for doping by the Court of Arbitration for Sports. 3 years of Yukov's results, including the 2012 Olympics, has been disqualified, meaning Britain's Robert Grabas could be upgraded to silver. Court of Arbitration for Sport acted on the evidence from McLaren reports, which found Russia operated a state-sponsored doping program. The 12 athletes have 21 days to appeal against the decision. And now to European football. Barcelona will face arch rivals Real Madrid in the semi-final of the Copa del Rey. The first